Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by the Detroit Lions on the Prowl and the Belly Up Sports Network. Today, we're going to talk about trimming the fat. We continue to cut back and cut people, and we're going to tell you who we're cutting and why and what the designation should be, all that coming up in just a little while. But I want to bring in my main man, the man of steel himself, Curt Steele.
What up, though? Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. We got your comment cards. We got the main course. All of those things are coming up. But as always, join the family. Subscribe to the channel. We don't got fans. We don't got viewers. We got family. And it's all love right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Now let's get this thing started.
Right now.
Let's go. Welcome back to the show, people. Now it's time to get into the main course, trimming the fat. Jim, what you got?
Well, we cut two other people that we were really supposed to cut. The Wild West outlaw himself, Jesse James, gets cut, and also Justin Coleman, the highest paid slot corner in the entire league, is now looking for a job.
Yes.
So what do you think about these cuts? Let's talk about that. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the June 1st designations on both of those guys and how much this is going to save on the cap. So, Curt, what else do you got about this trimming the fat situation?
Those two players were expected to be cut just because of the fact that they were big contracts with low output. They didn't have the big performances that really garnered their contract. Justin Coleman, I will say this about him. He was playing out of position most of the time. He was playing outside instead of the inside slot corner. He played well his first couple of games in Detroit, hampered with injuries, but it was just business. And, you can't justify keeping a guy at that high of a salary with that type of performance. And the same goes with Jesse James. You bring him in now. A lot of people were kind of skeptical about signing Jesse James to that big contract in the first place. So you kind of just get rid of him. He didn't have a lot of production. But to be honest with you, again, they didn't use him very well. And then you bring in Hockenson. So what do you want him to do? But he just didn't get used, underutilized tight end in the league. I hope he goes somewhere, and gets, some playing time. But as always, you know what I say? Hey, tip your server on the way out and safe travels. Or as my man back on, what was that? Def Comedy Jam, Russell Simmons would say, thank you for coming out. God bless you. Good night. So, I mean,
or as WWE Vince McMahon would say, you're fired.
You're fired. Yeah, it's one of those things, man. I like the fact that these guys, which is Brad Holmes and his team, are making strides to get us where we need to be to sign some of these free agents where it's going to be a free agent frenzy. And it's going to be a buyer's market, like you said, because of the fact that the cap is so low. And Brad Holmes is trimming the fat to get the Lions where they can get, not some big name free agents, but enough good free agents where we can function as a team for next season.
It's interesting. It's interesting you say that. We're gonna have something in the news and rumors about that. So I want to leave that for there. But Jesse James' situation, free agency is before the draft, so we had to address the tight end position, and so we did. We got Jesse James. Unfortunately, we're in a situation where we picked TJ Hockenson. Now, they couldn't have known he was going to be there or that was their thing, but went with TJ Hockenson, and then that kind of made Jesse James expendable. But he signed a huge contract here. That's something we shouldn't have done, I think. But anyway, whatever. I got to just say this about the June 1st cuts, though, because this is important to understand. After June 1st, you get to spread out that salary, and it doesn't just count against this season. The dead cap money is what we're talking about. So after June 1st, we can cut those players, and it means that we can spread that out. Now, the NFL provides two players that you could designate for June 1st and cut them now and still receive the savings. I think people are confused about the June 1st designations and the cuts and all that. You don't have to wait for June 1st on two players on your team. And I would suggest highly that it's Jesse James and Justin Coleman, because we save a lot more on the cap because we can spread out the dead money that would go against how much we're saving by cutting the players. So hopefully that makes sense, because we still have dead money on Coleman and Jesse James going forward. So they're still going to be on our books. We could have put a lot of that on this year, or we could spread that out to other years because we're in such a bad cap situation. That's why you make the June 1st designation. That's why that's talked about so much. So I hope you guys all understand that now. Hope we cleared that part up. Curt, what do you got about other teams around the league doing some stuff and some cuts? And
oh man, the biggest news was the Super Bowl winning a couple of years ago, and Super Bowl appearing AFC champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, cut their starting offensive tackles, not one, but both of them.
Wow.
We talked about this a couple of days ago, and it's going to be a feeding frenzy in free agency. It's going to be a lot of players that's not going to get protected. You got the tags, the designations already has passed. So you're going to see a lot of people getting let go or walking out of the building. Today is the 12th. We got 5 days until the league year starts.
5 days.
This weekend is going to be bananas. It is going to be so much breaking news with players getting let go because the teams want to get themselves right with the cap before the league year starts. So it is going to be, I'm telling you, it's going to be so much fun. It's so interesting this weekend. I can't wait to really see Monday show is going to be so fun because we're going to be looking at so many players leaving their teams or getting cut. And maybe you're going to get some players agreeing to some, the legal temporary period starts on Monday. So you're going to get some players that's going to, agree to some lesser deals starting on Monday. So it's going to be fun. The free agency is going to be great. And getting back to the Lions, looking at right now, we're saving about $20 million with the cuts that we've made so far on our cap space. So that's going to put the Lions in a little bit better predicament going forward for the next year. But, it's and with the Terrell Williams contract being less than what it was initially thought, that's going to open up some more cap space as well. So Brad Holmes is doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? He's making some moves. So I really look at that, trimming that fat. That's what we need to do in Detroit to get that cap space to be functional this upcoming season.
We do. And I think, like I told you, I think we're going to be able to get not high priced players, but players that normally would be higher priced at a reasonable discount. The thing I do think, though, with the Lions, I do not think we're going to go after a big name free agents. I don't think we're going to get anybody that's that spectacular. You're going to be scratching your head going, who the heck is this guy? I really believe that this year they're not looking. I think they're looking to build a team, and they're not looking to build, star players and put them into a team. I think they're trying to field a team this year so they can grow and get more talent through the draft and then add the free agency later. I don't think this is the year for free agency. However, I kind of wish we were at that point, because this year we could have got a lot of people for pretty doggone cheap this year. Teams that have cap like Indianapolis, watch out for that team. The teams that don't have cap like New Orleans, they're gonna take a step back. It's just the economics of the business right now. But this time of year is so exciting for us as Lions fans. I just love it. I really do. And we're going to get into every single one of those things next week. And just having a fun time today, though. I appreciate everybody here. Let's go to that Wall of Fame real quick and see who's on the wall today. We have our gold members, Dr. Detroit. The doctor is in. The Gridiron Blitz is a gold member. Randy Price, also a gold member. Nomish J, silver member. And our bronze member team is the Midwest Lion, Detroit Drew, Bubba Bo, and Art Allen. If you want to become a member, you just look under the video where it says join now. Hit that button. You can get more information on that and go for the gold. That's all I got to say about that.
Definitely. The Olympics are coming up. Go for the gold.
Go for the gold.
All right. Now it is time to get into what we do best. Detroit Lions news and rumors. So, Jim, what you got first?
This is what we were talking about earlier with what might happen under the Detroit Lions with free agency under Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes. It says, this is a direct quote from Dan Campbell. He says, we'll find a way to address some of these spots, and it's got to be some of these free agents that aren't quite as talented. You don't want to hear that, but that's what he's saying. But man, they are gritty, salty guys who know how to compete, and they'll hold their own in there. Then we'll find those guys. That's who will help us in the meantime. Dan Campbell tips his hand at every single thing he does.
He ain't gonna sugarcoat it.
He's sure. We have put on this show Dan Campbell comments, and then I'll say what they mean, and then it ends up happening almost every time.
Yeah, it is. But you know what? I think it's a breath of fresh air.
Oh, it is for me.
Because we had so much BS and so much innuendo and so much of secrecy, and then you're thinking something's good is going to happen and it's trash. So I would take this over the kind of conniving innuendo that we had in the previous regime. So
I can't wait till somebody asks him about an injury.
Yeah.
You just can't tell the truth.
Yep, for real.
Okay, so in this also, there's one other thing I wanted to bring up, and Campbell says that's who will help us in the meantime. Those are very telling words. What he means is we're just going to get a bunch of guys that want to compete, that want to be here, and you know what? We're going to put all those guys on the field, see what happens. That's what's going to happen this year while we build. Right. Next year is not the arrival time. It's we're still building. So that I want you to look at that and totally understand if you've got a favorite coming up for free agency, we probably won't get that guy.
No.
What you got next, Curt?
All right. Report is the Detroit Lions are interested in re-signing Jalen Reeves-Maybin.
Makes sense.
All right. According to NFL insider Josina Anderson, hey, go over there and check her out on Instagram. She's no longer with ESPN, but she has some really good content. She has a pretty good show over there as well. The Lions want to re-sign linebacker Jalen Reeves-Maybin to a new deal. While Matt Patricia preferred strong, tall linebackers that are freaking slow as hell, the LA Rams and New Orleans Saints are two teams that will heavily influence Detroit's new defensive scheme. Value athleticism and coverage ability. Now that falls into Jalen Reeves-Maybin's wheelhouse. Okay, 6 foot, 233 pounds. I would like him in that Viper type of role. If you don't know what that is, that's maybe a big safety or a small linebacker. He's fast, he can cover, and he brings value to the team in the special teams area. So I like the fact that the Lions are kind of, looking at bringing back Reeves-Maybin. I think he was underutilized. Whenever he did get into the game, he actually did play well because he has he's very athletic. He's fast as hell, and he definitely can cover. So maybe that Viper role for him. I think that Aaron Glenn and Pleasant could do wonders with that guy.
I agree with that. I think he's been underutilized because he wasn't big and slow. So they didn't want to use him. I don't understand that anyway. Yeah. Speaking of linebackers, the Lions should draft this linebacker instead of Micah Parsons. Now you guys all know who he is. I can't pronounce his name. Jeremiah Wusu Koromoa.
JOK.
JOK. Everybody just calls him JOK, but it's Notre Dame's JOK. He's another projected first round pick. He excels in coverage and would be matched up man-to-man against opposing slot receivers. That's how much faith his coaches had him. Notre Dame played a base defense more than anyone last year by a sizable margin, and it was due to how capable their star linebacker was in coverage.
Hey.
We really do need a coverage linebacker. I agree with that. I would not take him at 7. That's just my personal opinion. I really like the trade back idea here because Slater's in play and this Joke's in play. I'm just gonna call him Joke. Is that okay?
I don't know. I don't know that one.
I don't mean it as a disrespectful.
Oh, no. I know you don't, but I get what you're saying. It gives us some tools to, if we can pull some tools off to make this thing happen and trade back and pick up some good young players that we need, like a coverage linebacker. Excuse me, I'm all for it.
I'm all for it too. For it too. Yeah, something interesting came up today. What do you got there, Curt?
Woo! Now this was really of a doozy. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell will both attend Trey Lance's pro day. Interesting that both will attend. Holmes and Campbell will check out the athletic, gifted Lance, who draws us stylistic comparisons to Deshaun Watson and Steve McNair. Now, when I heard Steve McNair, I was like, wow, that's pretty big, because Steve McNair, is a NFL legend, led the Titans to the Super Bowl, and was really like a couple yards away from winning it, against the St. Louis Rams back then. Yeah. But I do like his athleticism. I think he was kind of he was under the radar for so long at North Dakota State, but then something clicked and he got on the national radar. So, we'll see. It could be a ploy. It could be not. Oh
no, I love this. I absolutely, I'm so happy right now. I actually really like Trey Lance, and you know that.
Yes, I do know that.
But I think he could sit under Goff. It could be the quarterback of the future here in Detroit. If you can get the quarterback, the franchise quarterback of the future, I stay at 7. I take Trey Lance. If this is a smokescreen, which I don't know. I mean, they're doing a lot for it to be a smokescreen right now. Right. But anyway, if it is, then other teams are going to be like, okay, the Lions are going to might want to take Trey Lance, and if he falls to us, there could be a lot of phone calls for that pick.
Yeah, you're looking at that because right now a lot of mock drafts and NFL experts are picking the Jets to take Zach Wilson at number 2.
At number 2, that's what I thought too. And then they're going to trade Darnold, who I actually think is not a bad quarterback. I don't know. I think they're giving up on him a bit too soon. That's just my opinion. But you could probably get him for a couple footballs or something. I would kick the tires on him if I was Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be a good
for you.
Yeah, good backup, good clipboard holder. You know what I'm saying? He's been a starter, so And
if he learns, and we have the coaching staff to make him go, heck yeah. But I love Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance could be the guy of the future, and I think we have the coaching staff to bring him up to that level.
Yes, we do.
Totally think that. Okay, so what do we got next, Curt?
All right, now it's time for the comment cards. What you had to say about yesterday's show. Jim, you up first.
Okay, I got Leonard McCullough Vlogs. Pitt's player comparison is Calvin Johnson, Travis Kelce. God, you know what? The more I watch this kid, the more I like him. And it's not just speed, it's his catching ability. The foot awareness of getting out of bounds. He is such a polished receiver to me. I really like this kid. I think he's probably one of the most athletically gifted big skill players that I've seen in a long time. Some say he's as high as 2 or 3 on the big boards. I've heard 2 from a couple people. Daniel Jeremiah, I believe, has him at 2. As he is much of a generational talent. I think that too. I know it's a popular pick because nobody has 2 great tight ends, but I think every fan would take Kelce ASAP if they had a choice. If you had Hawk and him as tight ends, and you kept them both as oh my goodness, what a matchup nightmare. And you rolled with some other wide receivers and kept him at the tight end position, or you could roll him into a big slot. I like that for him too. I don't know. I think there's a lot of things he can do. What do you think about Pitts as a player?
Pitts has an immense amount of talent. He's fast. He's big. He has a great, like you say, he has a great catch radius. It's going to be interesting to see if he's available at number 7.
That's a good point. That is a very good point. I think teams that are looking at wide receiver are opening themselves up to Pitts.
Yeah.
More and more and more.
And the top of this draft is going to be, mark my words, is going to be offensive heavy. There is not a lot of defensive players that are graded in that top tier of the.
There's only a couple corners, really. Yeah. That's in my top 10.
Yeah.
And Surtain and that other
Surtain and Farley. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be a stretch to see if he's even there at number 7. All right, we got Mike and Chris G says, yes, extend Ragnow now. So Ragnow now, that's kind of a tongue twister. So he says, yes, extend Ragnow now. Of course, I'm all for that. But I will hope that they can get that, that deal done before the May deadline for the 5th-year option. So
me too.
We can stretch it out over a few years, and it's not a big hit on the.
It's going on a T-shirt, Ragnow now.
Ragnow now. What you got next, Jim?
One funky Lions fan says, I retired any number, Matthews or CJ's. I could see it happening, but I don't agree with it. I'll tell you this much. You can't retire every number. This is something we brought up yesterday, but you can't retire every single number that comes across that have been a great player here. We have a long storied history. We have a lot of great players that have played here. I do like the passing of the torch kind of an idea, saying we have this generational talent. Let's give them the number 81. We have a brand new franchise quarterback. Yeah.
Like Dallas doesn't have any retired numbers.
No. Well, Detroit does, but I'm just saying that, like they did with Charlie Sanders, T.J. Hawkinson, I think that should be a continued tradition.
I would never, ever, ever, ever want to see someone wear number 20, ever.
If
I would never want to see.
Say Barry said this. Say Barry said, you know what?
I don't give a crap. I don't want to see no one wearing 20.
Say Barry's in the organization, right? And say DeAndre Swift is somebody that he says, I am going to pass the torch to you. They have a ceremony and they give him that number and Barry backs it. I would be okay with that. And Curt would not be okay with that.
I am definitely against that. And I would never want to see someone wear 81. I would never want to see someone wear number 81 in Detroit, ever.
No, I get you.
Calvin Johnson is a Hall of Famer. I would never, ever. I don't like that whole. I don't like that passing the torch type of deal.
Okay.
I think once that even out in Dallas, once Michael Irvin retired, and I can't stand the Cowboys, but Michael Irvin was a generational talent, and I don't think that really. If you look at even the numbers that Des Bryant put up, he was not worthy of the 88. And I don't think I love CeeDee Lamb, but I think those guys, they earned that right to have their numbers retired. But I get it, I understand it. But and it's, to me, it makes it so hard. And this is my opinion. It makes it so hard for that player to be pressured to live up to that number.
I agree with that. I mean, that part angle. I get. What if the guy fails, right?
Yeah, you put a guy in a Legends number.
Yeah.
You put DeAndre Swift in Barry's number, and he's a last year was an anomaly, and has a crappy career, or he gets hurt or whatever, and he doesn't live up to that number. Then you're like.
I know this from hockey, though. There's so many legends in hockey. Is such an old sport that they retire numbers all the time, left and right. And it came to the point where players are starting to wear 99. Gretzky wore 99, 75 for some players, 91, because they don't have 1 through 10 usually, or a lot of the
baseball too, like that. Yeah.
And you just can't keep retiring numbers.
Yeah,
and you just get all these funky numbers out there.
It's an anomaly. I don't think that it's some of those things where it just doesn't happen where you have generational talent.
When you have a rich history It does happen when you have over
Yeah.
50 to 100 years of rich history.
Yeah.
You know, I look at the New York Rangers, New York Islanders, Edmonton
Yeah.
Oilers, Detroit Red Wings, Pittsburgh Penguins, you know, that in that genre. Now, if you looked at it and the Cowboys were that, or Green Bay even, you know,
Yeah.
New England. Let's think if they retired every number that you know, over there.
I couldn't imagine. Could you imagine someone
Crazy.
wearing 12 in New England?
I could, because I think we're going on. I think as we get older in sports, and as we get older as people, you're just going to have more and more and more numbers. It has to stop sometime. And I think the passing of the torch idea is the one way to save us from number 132.
What will be interesting is like if the NFL started doing like college and they start letting players zero.
Yeah, it could be.
I would like that. All right, next up we have Wally Ravala.
Ravala.
Ravala. We're gonna go with that. All right. Hey there. I really like your new startup screens. Hey, we might keep that around, Wally. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
It's something we're experimenting with, so check it out.
Actually, that was an accident. I'm just playing. So yeah, we did it. I recorded it to the wrong thing, and it came out speaker view instead of the gallery view. So we just went with it, and we're going to go with it again today and see how it works, and might keep it. We're not going to do it for the regular show; it's just too difficult to edit. But I just thought, yeah, what the heck. Right. King SJ, at this point, I would retire Calvin's 81 before Stafford's 9. Both players definitely belonging in the pride of the Lions wall at Ford Field. That is absolutely the truth. I think they deserve it, but should we keep retiring numbers? I think that's my whole thing. I don't not a question if they deserve it.
My thing yesterday was, I'm not saying retire Matthew Stafford's jersey number right now. I'm just saying don't let anyone use it until he retires, and then retire the number. Like Calvin Johnson, no one has worn 81 since he retired. No one. No one hasn't put it on. So you just put it on the shelf, and then once they, Calvin comes back, officially, and we can get him back in the building and have his Hall of Fame ceremony and get his get him his Ring of Honor thing in Ford Field. Then we retire number 81. That's just my opinion. I get what Jim's saying. I would not want to see, I would not want to see Quintez Cephas in a number 81 jersey.
I wouldn't want to see Quintez Cephas in 123 either.
Yeah, that's true.
When we don't have any numbers left.
All right. Sean Jennings says, Sean Jennings. Now, this is not the Sean Jennings from the Die Hard Den. This is a different guy. He says, give number 9 to a punter or a kicker. That's exactly what I was afraid of. That's exactly what I said yesterday. Do not do. I would hate to see a kicker or a punter in number 9. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I'm not going there. I think that's completely disrespectful. And I know the Stafford haters out there that, well, he didn't bring us a championship.
Yeah.
But it's all on him. So I hope you know that we got rid of him. So Jared Goff is now going to bring us a Super Bowl by that thinking.
Yeah. Speaking of Sean Jennings, hey, new Die Hard Den coming out. It's coming out today. So right after this show, go over at 12 noon and check out the new Die Hard Den podcast over on our YouTube channel, or you can listen to it on the Belly Up Sports Network, or the audio version. But new episode coming out today for the Die Hard Den. Me and Shawnee J chop it up. We have some fun. So go over there and check it out.
And it's such a different show. You guys don't understand it. We do our thing here, but they do some different stuff over there. Hell yeah, hell no. I love that segment. That is one of my, I got to be on the show before. Yeah. I think it's an amazing show. Shawnee J brings such a different feel and flavor to the whole mix. And he's like a historian for the Lions too. You really got to check that out.
He knows his Lions history. So
it's such a good show. You have to check that out. It's 12 o'clock today. Comes out on the audio version and the YouTube version, correct?
Yep. Audio and YouTube
video
at 12 o'clock.
At 12 noon. One announcement today. We are going back to our 11 o'clock a.m. time slot. That will stay from now on. And I know we've been jumping back and forth. There's been a lot of changes here at Detroit Lions on the Prowl. And I'll be totally honest with you. My rendering thing takes forever. And if you render videos, you understand that, but mine is taking like an hour and a half. So even though we do the show really early in the morning, still it's a pressure to get it done by and have it up by 11. It really is. So I was trying to give myself a little bit more time, but it's obvious by the numbers that you guys wanted at 11. So that's what we're going to try to do for you from now on. All right. Now we're going to have my favorite part of the show, the dessert with my man, Curt.
All right. Today's dessert is a shout out to the man himself, Jim Bordeaux.
Oh,
my man, he gives it up to us yesterday. He made sure he's gives myself and Mike and all these other individuals a shout out. But you have to look at it from this point. This is the guy who holds the glue together. He's always behind the scenes. He's a leader. He does so much for so many people. I want to thank him for giving me the opportunity to be on this platform. I already had a show, and he, upon me graduating from Full Sail, he extended the invitation to me to come over and join the Detroit Lions and the Prowl family. And he brought in the guy who introduced both of us, which is Mike Jones, to the team. And he's always looking out for other people. Jim has a big heart, and he is definitely the leader in the clubhouse for Detroit Lions and the Prowl. We appreciate you, Jim, and thank you for everything you do for all of us right here with the Detroit Lions and the Prowl family.
Now, what you guys don't know is I never know what the dessert is. I purposely leave that so I'll have a reaction that's genuine, and I really appreciate that, Curt. I just thank you. I'm not usually at a loss for words, but right now I kind of am.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, you know who we are. Let's go ahead and close it out. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. Hey, and as always, join the family. Subscribe to the channel. We don't got fans. We don't got viewers. We got family. And it's all love right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Hey, it is the weekend, people. It is Friday. And go and have some fun with your friends and family. Enjoy your downtime, and definitely check out all the craziness that's going to happen this weekend. And we're going to bring you some more great content on Monday of everything's going to happen over the weekend. We're going to talk about it as we get ready for the league year to start, and the free agency feeding frenzy is coming to you. And you can check out an episode of this one. The audio version is going to be in the link below over at bellyupsports.com. They have a ton of content over there. Go over there and check out our roster mates over there, as well as with Belly Up. You got a ton of different podcasts and some great writers over there that bring you some great content. And for us, hey, we just like bringing you this show, and the audio version is available over there, and you can listen to it on Skull Candy headphones. Hey, click the link below, find some great deal on some quality audio products from Skull Candy, and a portion of the sales from that link go to help us grow this show. And as always, we love our family right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. And you know what you got to do. Whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my man Jim, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.